What's going on, y'all? Yo, what's the deal? It's AP. You already know what time it is, and it's the spot. Yo, listen, the topic of conversation for continuously, this is going on 6 days now, has been, as you can see, the backdrop behind me has been the whole Will slapping Chris Rock fiasco. Now, I'm here to bring y'all the latest and a couple of my thoughts on this real quick, real brief, because everybody has exhausted this conversation and just keep, this conversation is gaining momentum by the days because, I mean, it's just, it was an unbelievable sight to see Will just go upside my man Chris' face like that. I mean, it hurts me and haunts me to even watch the video. I don't like watching the video. I think Will, he was dead wrong for that, but we're gonna get into a little bit of that in a second. But the latest is that Will Packard, who was the producer of the Oscars the Sunday night, he basically told ABC News on an interview he did today, as of today, he was like, it came as a shock to all of us. And the LAPD was ready to arrest Will Smith on site and take him out of his seat, out of the auditorium and arrest him. But Chris Rock, being the statesly man and the gentlemanly man he was, he deaded that. Chris told the LAPD, nah, I don't want to press charges. I don't want Will Smith to get arrested. I don't want Will Smith. He even told Will Packard, he was like, I don't even want, Will to be escorted out. Let him sit there, do his thing. And Chris has been gentlemanly like through this whole unfortunate incident. And that's one thing that, we all gotta say, give props to Chris for being such a stand-up man after being publicly humiliated like that. And, I've been thinking about it all week. I'm not really one to, lead off with emotions all of the times on my channel and on my videos. But I've been really thinking about it all week, and I feel that Will could have really handled that situation so much more better than what he did. It was classless what he did. Will showed that he is definitely running off emotion, not only that night with that joke, but I'm just gonna say, full disclosure, Will slapping Chris had nothing to do with that joke that Chris was saying. It had everything to do with the fact that Jada Pinkett Smith, his wife, has been the more dominant, obviously the dominant person in that relationship. And she pretty much, from what we can all see, runs that relationship. She's publicly humiliated Will Smith for years, going on the last, the last decade. But most recently, the last couple years with the whole August Alsina, how she, went to go sleep with him and get her rocks off and knock him off. And, August Alsina was blowing her back out. And then, Will, he was on TV on the Red Talk table crying and boo-hooing about all of that. You put all your business, your personal love business between you and your mate out there for consumption for everybody to see. Everybody's gonna have a meme, a joke, and an opinion on it. I mean, sometimes, Will, it's just good to have some shut mouth grace. One thing my Pastor Brown, always talks about is have some shut mouth grace, some shut mouth grace. Will, he should have practiced that on Sunday night, and Jada should have been practicing that all of these years by, not putting a public sexual, bedroom, personal, most intimate business out on display like that. So Will had to prove to everybody that he was a man. I'm a man and I'm dominant. And, after he slapped Chris Rock, he just walked off that stage and just, act like he was strutting and buttoned his coat. Bro, you looked weak. And no matter how high you slapped a comedian that's 5'9", 5'10", what is Chris like? About 170 pounds? I mean, come on, Will Smith is like, what, 6'2"? 6'1", 6'2", about 235, 240 maybe? Bro, you don't look strong, you look extremely weak. So that's my take on that. And as far as how I feel like Will could have handled it better, Will could have did a whole lot of things better. If you had to act off of emotion and do something in the moment, you could have just projected yourself and screamed from your seat and been like, keep your wife's name out of your effing mouth from your seat. You didn't have to get up there and just assault Chris like that. He could have sat there in his seat, screamed, yelled, showed that same frustration and anger on his face, and it would have really had the same effect as him slapping Chris, because, I mean, it was no need for that. Another thing Will could have did was just grab Jada. Once Will Smith saw that Jada was in her feelings and, upset by that joke because of her hair condition, he could have just grabbed her hand and been like, whispered, pulled her over, leaned over, to her, been like, and whispered in her ear, listen, baby, it's gonna be all right. I got you, I got this. We're here to enjoy my night. Chill out, I got this. And what Will could have did was, after the ceremony, once he saw Chris backstage, he could have addressed it then. I'm not saying he should have addressed him physically whatsoever, but he could have just went up to him and told him his 2 cents on how he felt about it and been real stern about it and put him in his place behind the scenes. He didn't have to do that. And what he really could have did was, if he really wanted to make an impact and look like the bigger hero, quote unquote, and the bigger man in the situation, Will could have easily been like, you know what? Walked up to the stage like he did, grabbed the mic from Chris and been like, you know what, Chris? I demand an apology, not only to my wife, who you just insulted, because if you didn't know, she has a hair condition that causes her to lose her hair. But what you should do, and what I want you to do, and what you're gonna do, and he didn't have to rough him up and grab him. He could have just been like, what I want you to do right now is apologize to my wife because of her condition. And not only did you insult her, but you insulted the millions and hundreds of thousands of other women across the world that has this hair condition known as alopecia, to where they lose their hair. I demand that you apologize to my wife, number one, and all the women. And he could have looked, Will Smith could have looked like, he talked about in his acceptance speech, he wanted to be a champion for love and a champion for women and all of this. You could have looked like even a more champion by just straight up demanding Chris apologize to your wife and all of the other women that's unfortunately going through that hair condition. The hair loss, that whole situation. I mean, that's a real way that Will could have looked like a real advocate for women's rights, you know, and for just women in general, not slapping Chris and then 10 minutes later talking about how you fighting for women and you want to be a champion for women and a champion and an advocate for love and all that. Bro, you contradicting yourself. You look weak, you look bad, and you came off as the villain. His acting aside alone, he's an exceptional actor, but his personal life has always been in question for a bunch of different reasons. Thank you for watching. This is AP, and I will check y'all later. Peace.